All right, moving along. The Super Bowl was a rating success. 101 million people watched it on TV, plus 11 million plus streaming. And that's up from 2021 that had 95 million. Now, particularly the halftime show. Now, I know I want to hear y'all's thoughts on this. It was up 7% from last year. What did y'all think about the performances? And was this not the blackest halftime show since Beyonce did, what was that song she did? Remember, everybody got mad that it was so Formation. Beyonce did Formation, and some of those mad folks was real mad. They was like, "Oh, she's so pro-black." What y'all think about the show, Al? What'd you think?
No, shoot, you tossing me again. Okay, of course, the show was amazing. It was great. It was West Coast appropriate. The West Coast team won. Kendrick Lamar, you usually don't see a rapper with choreography, but God darn, Kendrick, you done raised the bar on that side. Dr. Dre, Snoop with the Crip Walk in his blue and yellow was amazing. The surprise visit of 50 Cent, even though 50 Cent looked like he gained a little weight there. And then the thing that surprised me the most, though, was Mary J. Blige's song choice. Now, we all thought that she was going to use the song that Dr. Dre, Family Affair, that Dr. Dre produced with her, which is her number one single. But instead, she decided to use a different song. So that was kind of weird to me because the tempo wasn't as great as I thought that it could have been. But of course, she did an amazing job. But I'm going to be honest with you, Claudia. I don't like this tactic of using Black people to take the narrative off of the real Black issue of the National Football League. We still have a major issue. We have 70% of the employees of the National Football League, meaning the players, are men of color. However, the owners, the GMs, and the head coaches, you can barely find one out of all the teams in the National Football League. Me personally did not support Jay-Z going and sitting with Roger Goodell, something that the NAACP can't do, something that all these other African-American organizations can't do, for him to give me a great halftime show. I wanted him to sit to Roger and put his neck on the line and to increase representation and offer equality across the ownership and higher management. That's just my thought, though.
Okay. All right. Good points. All right. Q, what do you think?
Well, I think we don't have enough time left before commercial, so we're going to go to commercial break. And when we come back, I'll give you guys my thoughts on this. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to TGIF. Now, before we continue our conversation about the Super Bowl and the halftime show and the inequality in the league, let's do some positive work here. Let's take a look at this moment in Black history, sponsored by Nissan.
Celebrating Black history makers who have broken barriers and created a path for change. Giving new meaning to Black Girl Magic are 17 Black female judges who were recently sworn into their historical positions in courtrooms across Harris County, Texas. Together, these women make up the largest group of Black female judges ever to be elected at the same time.
With this opportunity, I will not only follow the law, but I want to improve the criminal justice system and leave it better than the way that I found it.
These judges are gracefully continuing the legacy first put into motion by Jane Bolin, who in 1939 was the first Black woman to serve as a judge in the United States. These 17 judges are using their Black girl magic to usher in a new era of leadership in the name of justice for all.
Honoring Black History Month on TGIF, presented by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com.
All right, fellas, what are your thoughts on this moment in Black history sponsored by Nissan?
I definitely think it's amazing. And I definitely want to give a special shout out to Nissan for partnering with FOXSOUL for this Black history moment. I think it's very important, especially in this environment that we live in, that we see these big brands really come out and stand 10 toes down for Black culture. So shouts out to the Black History Moment, and shouts out to Nissan for daring to be unapologetically in support of all things Black.
Al, what do you think?
Totally agree. And just thumbs up to all of those women that bonded together around this campaign to take over all of those judgeships. Thumbs up across the board to everyone, and FOXSOUL for bringing it all together.
And to my people in Texas, although the new restrictive voting laws are in place, early voting has begun. And we have primaries coming up. So please make sure you make it happen. I see one Black woman that tried 3 times to vote, and she's a super voter. So you know what? It makes this all the more important to see these women in these positions. We need more of this. All right, y'all, continuing our conversation about the Super Bowl, the halftime show. So on one hand, people in the comments saying, look, y'all never happy. You know, we complain about things and we get it. We make a step in the right direction, then that's not good enough. And then on the other hand, it's like, well, we're not there yet. And yeah, there is an equality in the league. And it's very obvious. We have 2 people right now currently trying to make a bid for that to be Black owners. And then I don't know if that really falls on Jay-Z. Jay-Z is not just down with the NFL. He was hired for the entertainment part of it, right? So to produce the halftime show. So I don't really know how much power he has with getting head coaches and upper management. So I don't know if that's a fair assessment of Jay-Z.
So here's the thing, right? This is definitely one of those instances, and I've had to think long and hard about this and what my insertion would be. There are a lot of things that can be true at one time. So the first thing is, this was an amazing Super Bowl show. It was awesome. It was epic. But we can't negate the fact that there is a machine that has stripped away our culture and then monetized selling us back our own nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've taken everything that we went up for on that stage, y'all have replaced for pop and Doja Cat. And then what you did was say, we're going to sell it back to y'all. So aside from that, it was a great moment for hip hop. It was a great moment for music. Jay-Z did a very good job booking the Super Bowl show. Hard stop, close the cover on that book, next chapter, next paragraph. The NFL still has a racism problem. You know what I'm saying? And what I don't want Black people, I want Black people to take the win, but white folks, this is not a win for y'all, all right? We still looking at y'all. We still saying that from y'all's perspective, this was performative, and we still gonna be on y'all necks about diversifying leadership, coaching, and ownership. So this is not a win y'all are allowed to take. But for Black folks, we gonna take this win as one for the culture. But we ain't stupid. We have not been bamboozled, hoodwinked, and we recognize that we did not land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us, and we still want our things. Give us our things.
That's right.
Again, I agree. I think it's a win for the halftime show. It's not a win for the NFL. The NFL is going to be a great more amount of work, way more work than the halftime show. That's something that we can tackle because we're in a position to handle that. We're not in the position to run the NFL yet. Well, the players could make a stand, but that's a whole nother conversation that they're not willing to have just yet.
And I also want to point out, Claudia and Al both, listen, and again, this is why I am reluctant to give the win to the NFL or to white America. White America has never had a problem with us shucking and jiving for them.
Absolutely.
You know, you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when you really, I don't want to dig so deep into the performative nature of hiring Jay-Z, because I don't want to take away from the epic moment that this was for Black culture. But we not finna pretend like these white folks ain't sit up in they C-level suites and say, well, we'll just put them over the entertainment and them Negroes will be happy.
Exactly.
Because all it takes is a good piece of brown liquor and a good beat for Black people to start stomping and dancing, and we get distracted. Like, please, y'all, dance, celebrate, have a good time. Mary J was fine with them thick ass thighs and them diamond ass boots with that offbeat dancing. Buy her new album. But NFL, we still see you.
That's right.
So speaking of Super Bowl, there's some other things we have to cover. The New York Post is getting backlash for an article I wrote about Snoop Dogg smoking weed before the halftime show. Fans weren't happy and questioned why it would focus on that, especially since weed been legal in California. I think we made it legal medicinal wise in 1996. And in 2016, we voted in Cali. I say we because I used to live there. We voted for it to be legal in 2016. So why are you even pointing it out in a state where it is legal? What do y'all think about this story? And you think they tried it once again?
Y'all ready for my real response? I want to make sure I get it right. This is the New York Times or the New York Post?
The Post.
New York Post people. New York Post people. Y'all want to know what y'all can do for me? Y'all can kiss my ass and lick it with it, okay? Because the fact of the matter is, weed is legal in a whole lot of places. A whole lot of people smoke it. Your parents probably, whoever the hell wrote the article, your parents probably was born in the 60s, going to Woodstock, laying it low and spreading it wide on all types of weed and mushrooms. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry that the white machine is standing to make a whole lot of money on, and Black people are still incarcerated over petty weed charges, and we not here for. You can kiss our ass and lick it with it. Yes, God, he smoked it. It's part of the culture. And he just, you trying to make it seem like he smoked it backstage, trying to hide it from y'all hoes. He smoked it out loud and quiet as it's kept. He probably smoked it in the wings. And if it wasn't for Mary J having asthma, he probably would have smoked it on stage. Do you understand me? Get off our line with this bullshit, okay?
You know what? I don't think there's anything me or Al could add to that story. So let's just move on.